How does a digital strategy work? We have a digital strategy planning template. So in this video, I'd like to explain to you how a digital strategy actually works. If you haven't yet, you can download the template from digitalstrategytrends.com. You can see the web address here below. Now, when you start off with a digital strategy, it can be quite overwhelming because all the technology is changing at such a rapid rate, and there's so many terms available at the moment. So things such as search engines, you've got Google, you've got Bing, you've got terms like SEO and SEM. You have elements such as visual, you've got a website, landing pages, you've got a social strategy, content planning, backlinks, outcomes. So initially when you have a look at this, it all seems so overwhelming and you're not quite sure how it all fits together. Where do the different elements, what elements are there in common? So let's break it down a bit. Let's take it a step back, as I'd like to put it. So your digital strategy, no matter what stage you're in, consists of three main elements. It consists of your visual element, your website, and your social media and your content marketing. Whatever you want to do, whatever product you have, whatever outcome you want, any digital strategy will consist of these three main elements. Now, let's have a look at your branding. So your branding is the form of your corporate identity, can be your social headers. Well, also, your visual element also comes in with your social posters. Your starting point here would be to have a basic corporate identity created. So when it comes to digital, your main corporate ID will be things like a logo, an icon, and a header. Because on any social platform that you might go on, all of them will need these three elements. Next, let's have a look at a website. So you've got two main elements here. Is a website for information purposes or catalog purposes, or a landing page. So a landing page is more to get a straight call to action with where a user arrives at the landing page and you want to achieve one action. So this can be for the user to either buy or to download an ebook or a catalog or something of that. When you build either a website or a landing page, you need to make sure that the website or landing page is responsive. Now, by responsive, what I mean here is that if a user uses a PC, a laptop, a tablet, or a mobile device, that the website resizes to that device that is actually usable on that device. Because also what happens is if your website doesn't work on a particular device, then Google also drops your site on search engine rankings and positioning as well. The next element is your social media and content marketing. There are a number of different social platforms out there, so it's important to find out which platform your target market is making use of. For me, my top social platforms that I look at using is Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Instagram, dependent on what market you're in, is also very popular. You will also bring into play from your content marketing, you'll look at email marketing. This can be in the form of weekly newsletters or or as a way of educating your target market or your customers or clients. The other important element from a content aspect is a business blog. Now this can be in the form of either a weekly, fortnightly, or even a monthly article in which you are explaining to your target audience on how a particular service or product works that you would like to sell. Or it's more for educational purposes. And at the same time, the business blog will help improve your site's search engine positioning as well. Now that we have a basic understanding of where your visual, website and content and social media fit, we now need to look at, you've now got your two main search engines. So you've now built your website, and your website is getting listed on either or both Google and Bing. They are the two main search engines. Now this is where SEO comes into play. So SEO means that your site is optimized to position in organic searches. So organic searches means that without paying the search engine anything, your site starts to get ranked on Google or Bing. Now, another element to bring in to help your site from position side is this, which we call backlinks. So backlinks, this can be in the form of blog articles, it can be testimonials, or it can also be business directory listings. Business directory listings is actually quite important from what we call on a local SEO perspective, because from a local perspective you would like to get listed on as many local business directories as possible, because what this will happen is that Google will start seeing those links as important links and help increase your website's organic positioning. The other element when it comes to search engines is something called SEM. Now, SEM is search engine marketing. So this is if you're going to pay Google, Bing, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram, or Twitter to place an ad on their platform. So that it is a way to instantly get to the top of the search engine listings, but bear in mind you have to pay for this positioning. The next element that I would like to have a look at is, so you've got your backlinks, you've got your website, is now your outcomes. So outcomes, and we can just go back. Outcomes is when someone comes onto your website or your landing page or your social media profile, what action do you want to happen? So your outcome, do you want someone to buy from you? Do you want them to inquire, to contact you? Do you want them to connect with you on social media? Or do you want them to download something, to download an ebook, or let's say to download a catalog? So all of these elements together, this is what forms the basis of your digital strategy. Now, I've covered the basic theory or elements of what makes up a digital strategy. Look out for our next video where we go into more detail now of how to implement, what actions to take to plan your digital strategy.